This have got to be my biggest yet most painful lesson in gardening to date. Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca from the Gabriel Farmstead. If you're new here, welcome. Today I'm discussing one of my biggest fails since I started gardening. Wow, it's amazing that I have to record this video without my glasses. I cannot find my glasses, guys. So life has to go on. I'm hoping that I find them before work tomorrow because otherwise I'm screwed. Anyways, this is not what we're talking about today. In my last video, you saw me and my kids transplanting the strawberries that we bought from a local nursery. They were lush, they were green, just such as the one that is next to me right now. And I went all out because I bought so many plants, thinking that by now my kids would have had a lot of strawberries to harvest from those plants. Boy, was I wrong. Those strawberry plants turned out to be my biggest, most painful fail to date. During my years of gardening, and I don't claim to be a pro, I'm very much upcoming, but I have raised plants more than I have killed. Strawberries are those plants that I have been struggling with, but purely because I didn't take care of the last batch that I have. I explained in the other video that we went for holidays. I didn't dedicate somebody to water them. The sun during December is very hot, so when we returned in January, obviously they were toast. I I was not surprised. I expected it, but this ones I was determined. I was determined. They were looking nice. They were lush, and a few days after transplanting, they were crispy. And guys, this really hurt. It's one of those fails that really hurt. But I take this fail as a good lesson for me for the future, and a lesson I'm hoping and I'm prepared to put to a test because I went back and procured new plants to try and put that lesson into practice. So 3 days after we transplanted the strawberries, the leaves had wilted. So I had gone to work. The first day I didn't check on them because I arrived quite late. The second day I came and checked on them and I realized some of the leaves were wilty. But I didn't quite realize that it could be because of transplanting. I thought maybe it's a little bit of transplant shock because I felt like it was too early for any other effect to kill them off. Like it was just the second day after transplanting. The third day was a bit cooler than usual. So I returned from work and all the leaves had died off. The branches were still alive. So I thought, okay, fine. Maybe it's aggravated by the cold, unusually cold weather that we're experiencing. But then I also started researching and I discovered three things, actually two things that could have killed off my strawberries. One was overwatering, the other one was very high temperatures. Now, spring in my area or in my country is very hot. Like I said, I live in a desert country, so we are semi-arid. We are very dry most of the year, and the highest rainfall I have recorded on my gauge this year was 12 millimeter. Okay, so yeah, that's how dry and how little rainfall we get in Namibia here in Southern Africa. So when I transplanted this, at first I was thinking, okay, fine, must be the sun. I put the strawberries in a place that is well shaded, but it receives sun during the middle of the day when it's very hot. So I was thinking, okay, fine, my strawberries must have died because of the sun. But as I continued reading, I read that overwatering could kill the roots. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, fine. We we drenched them in water when we transplanted because I was trying to avoid transplant shock. Um, the kids have been so excited because we were already harvesting ripe fruits or ripe strawberries from them. So almost every time they came to pick a strawberry, they ended up watering the strawberries more. And I had to stop them that no, please don't add more water because we are drowning the plants. A concept that is fairly new to them, but they did stop. And I thought, okay, fine. We saw a little bit of a change after that day because I came and I could see the branches were not no longer dying and we were getting new leaves in the middle of the strawberries. I was excited. Little did I realize I'm excited for nothing. So I think about a week after that, one day I'm really just looking at the strawberries and the branches have died. The branches have died off, guys, like completely. And even the new growth that was in the middle, I tried to touch it. It looked green, but when I tried to just inspect it more, I realized that no, it was, yes, it was a bit green, but it was dead completely. And although I'm telling you that I realized they were dead, and that was quite a while back, I think around a week or two ago, I have continued watering the strawberries because I read that strawberries do come back and they're very resilient plants. And I'm just hoping, I'm holding on to hope that maybe, just maybe, they're not really dead. And one day, some sort of growth will emanate. But yeah, looking at them now, totally nothing. So last week I traveled with work to the north and I went back to the same lady. And I asked her, Kandaha, the strawberries I bought from you, all of them died instantly. And I wanted her to teach me because she runs a nursery. I assume she's having a lot more experience than I do. And she started asking questions about the watering. Okay, so I knew the watering. We tried to rectify it. The sun issue, I tried to move them from the area that receives a lot of sun during the day to a lot of shade during the day and some sun during sunset. So obviously they were definitely not being scorched by the sun. And then she asked, did you add fertilizer? And I'm thinking to myself, why did I never think of that? So I told her, yes, I did. So what sort of fertilizer did you add? And I'm like, I added goat manure. Was it composted? I said semi-composted. And she actually started laughing because she said, oh Lord, you remind me of the experience I had when I started my nursery. Because I did the same mistake and I added goat manure to my strawberries and they died instantly. They were lush one day. The next morning we woke up and they were gone. They were crispy. They were toast. And when she said this, I'm like, oh. And I thought 2 to 3 days was just like, why 2 to 3 days? That's just so fast. I expected them, if they are dying off, they would be dying in 5, 6 days. And she then says, no, the nitrogen in goat manure is just too much, which I know. And she also added that strawberries really hate a lot of nitrogen. And if I use manure that has a high level of N, then it's likely to burn my plants and kill them off instantly. And I told her that okay, fine. This is definitely the mistake that I made. Um, if I could bring you closer, you would see that my soil until now, the goat manure that I used, is totally visible. Although I didn't really mix the soil that came with the strawberries, I put the soil as it was, but on the sides, I filled in with a soil that has a lot of manure. And I was thinking maybe it couldn't kill them so instantly because there's still most of the root system is still concentrated in the soil that it came with. And I only filled in with the soil that has manure. But as we continued discussing, I'm really thinking, yeah, guys, this is why my strawberries died. I killed them because I gave them a lot of goat manure, and so the nitrogen bent the roots and the leaves, and so my strawberries died. This is I think the thing that I did wrong. And I told you I found out the two enemies to strawberries, which is high temperatures subjected to high sun, like harsh sun. And then the other thing is watering. So this lady taught me over fertilizing. So I think mistake number three is what I did. I over fertilized and my plants died. So when I went back, of course, I had to buy new plants. This time, um, I didn't buy a lot. So in here, I only have four. And these four, I want to transplant. For some reason, I don't know. I still want to keep these roots. Just take them out of this, and then continue watering them. I want to change this soil so that I put them in a place that has soil that is not having a lot of manure. So that's what I wanted to do. And then I put them in a plant pot where I will continue watering just to see, maybe, just maybe, even just a time. I'm still holding on to hope that maybe they would come back. I have read a lot that they are very resilient, so I'm hoping mine are resilient too, although they show no signs of life right now. I'm hoping that maybe the roots do have that sign of life, and they maybe one day they'll come back for me. So I want to transplant them elsewhere, but in this container, I want to take them out completely, put them elsewhere, and transplant my new plant without manure into this container. But yeah, anyways, guys, I don't know whether I'll bring you along with the new planting, but I wanted to make this video. I see most of the times people make videos on the success, the harvest, but we hardly ever really record our biggest fails, our mishaps, and all the things that could go wrong, and all the plants that we do kill when we are gardening or when we are homesteading. And this is one of those videos. Um, so if you're a new gardener and you're killing plants and you're thinking that no, you don't understand why other people are flourishing but your plants are dying, you're not alone. Even we, I don't want to call myself seasoned, but even we, intermediate and seasoned gardeners, we also kill plants, and a lot of plants. We try our best to raise them, but some of them still do die on us, and we learn from those mistakes and we move on. So this is me learning from my mistakes and just picking myself up and moving on. Of course, the kids love strawberries. They were quite sad to see that the plants have died. So I think they were the pushing factor for me to try by all means to experiment and to read up and research and see where I could have gone wrong, so that I can get new plants that will then possibly fruit and give them strawberries. Some of these strawberries still have some flowers. I see some of them also have two plants in one. So I'm hoping that obviously come the end of October, we're still back in strawberry harvests, and which I know they're going to be excited for. I'm planning to take them strawberry picking, but it's not going to be the same as picking your own strawberries at home. And so, yeah. So, guys, without blabbing on much, this is why I recorded this video to kind of share with you some of the biggest mistakes you could be making with your strawberries and the biggest mistake that I did that killed off my strawberries because I'm sure somewhere, somehow, somebody's asking themselves, why did my strawberry plants die? And this was my biggest fail. These were the lessons that I have learned, and the mistakes that I could have done, and which one to narrow them down and say which one is applicable to me. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have another mistake that you have had with your strawberries, or that you made with your strawberries, that you want to teach me where I could have gone wrong, please leave it in the comments down below. I'll be reading the comments and replying. And I appreciate all the great help and great comment, insightful comments that do get in my comment section. So I will go right ahead and start repotting my new plants into the plant pot where the old plants were.
Surprise! I'm in the video now. And as mom was talking about her loss and what she was going to do with the roots, here are the roots now. Really black. We're going to try and put them in water to just see if they try and grow back again of some sort.
Yeah, guys, I decided to take the root system from other pots, and these roots are completely black. So I I don't know whether there's any life in them, honestly. I don't know, but for some strange reason, I'm still getting that hunch that tells me to just put them in water, because you just never know what will happen now that they're not being suffocated by nitrogen anymore. But those roots are completely gone. So these are the crown of the strawberries and the root system. This one had such a beautiful root system. So we're going to put this in water, and then we are also going to transplant our new plants into those. I think I'll also dump out all these plants and collect all the crowns, put them in water, and then we will see what we'll get out of them. I will update you, I think, in my garden tour video, what happened to these roots, whether they just rotted away completely, or if I'm seeing some sign of new life, which I'm so hoping I would. Anyways, we are going ahead with the transplanting and the repotting. So stay tuned. And as I started dumping out the soil, this is the soil, the bottom soil that was surrounding the roots of the other plants. So nice and moist, but the topsoil was so dry. I was thinking that these plants are not getting enough water, but I'm realizing that these plants were getting just more than enough water even after they died, because when you look at the topsoil, it's easy to overwater. Actually, that's a point that I'm trying to make. It's easy to overwater because when you look at the topsoil, it's completely dry, but then the bottom soil was so wet and saturated. So somehow you would think my plants are not getting enough water. Meanwhile, your plants are getting more water than they should be getting. I think that's the one thing to be careful about. But anyways, let's go on. So this one has some flowers, some new fruit. Um, yeah, giving me hope. And they have so many dead roots. It was definitely root bound. So guys, yeah.
Come on.
Oh. So here we are, definitely root bound. You can see the roots that are dead because they were exposed, and then those that are alive are a cream color, definitely not black like the roots that we got from the dead plants. That's definitely saying something, that my roots might not do anything, but I'm still
Oh,
holding on to
that's
that
a
glimmer
lot
of
of
hope.
manure.
And I'm still going to put them in water. This one is having this one that I'm going to take off because ah.
So, guys, goat manure also have ammonia that is probably more of a result of goat urine. You know, when the goats are pooing in the crawl, they're also urinating there. And goat manure has a high level of ammonia. And ammonia, if applied in high doses, can definitely burn the leaves of the plants and damage the plant's overall health, and I think it might also have contributed to the damaging and of my strawberry plants, and probably why they died. So not only nitrogen alone, but also ammonia. However, in very small amounts, ammonia is not harmful to plants, and it can actually be beneficial as a source of much needed nitrogen. As we know, nitrogen is responsible for the leafy growth of the plant, but then if applied in high amounts, it also then burn the plants. So here, what we are taking out of my mistake is that number one, high over fertilizing might mean high nitrogen level that will burn the plants and kill them off, and also high amounts of nitrogen from the goat urine that might also burn the plants and kill them off. So this is a great lesson that over fertilizing is not beneficial to your plants in the least.
So this one have two plants. This one have
Mom,
three plants.
this last
This one
shot.
has two plants. This one has two plants. This beautiful beginnings, and I'm hoping that we are going to get new beautiful lush plants that are going to give us so many runners that one day we'll fill up maybe a garden bed because I love strawberries, my kids love strawberries, and we are hoping that one day we'll be able to harvest all our breakfasts from these strawberry plants. So, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. And yeah, guys, I realized that I didn't give you the September tour of my garden, but the day that I was planning, to shoot this video, I don't know, life threw me a curveball, and it was just so busy that day, and I had to travel with work. But obviously now it's going to be the beginning of October garden tour. I'm going to shoot it within the next week, so that should be my video update for the other week. So do stay tuned for it and be on the lookout for it. Do subscribe, do ring that notification bell so that you could be notified when I post new content. Appreciate you for being here, and from me, Rebecca, and the rest of the Gabriel Farmsteads crew, adios until the next time.